Hello folks, Sinow here, your new home for everything Resident Evil Resistance, and today is a wonderful day because they have added Jill Valentine, the master of unlocking herself, to Resident Evil Resistance. As you can probably tell, I'm really excited about this. I think that she's going to be a great addition to the game. Kind of a no-brainer. They already had all the kind of assets and model work done for her, I imagine anyway, from Resident Evil 3. They have also confirmed, if you look at this graphic on the screen, that Nikolai will be the new mastermind coming in May, which I'm also super excited for because that means Nemesis is coming too. Oh, they're adding all of the good stuff. But today, we're going to talk about Jill. I'll go over her skills and stuff for you guys very quickly. Obviously, I haven't got them all unlocked yet. I'm rank 8, managed to rank up fairly quickly, but people are insta-locking Jill, and if they don't get her, sometimes they'll leave the game anyway. So it will take me a little while to rank her up properly. But let's take a look at her skills, and then I'll show you a match of her in action. So, she's classified as damage and combat, which is a new category. I'm not really sure. Maybe combat means that, like, she's kind of rough and tumble, adapts to the situation as she goes along. She's not firearms like Becca, and she's not a brawler like Samuel. She's just kind of in the middle, I guess. She has the ability to dodge and stuff. Let's take a look at her skills. So, Star's Armory is her ultimate. This allows her to switch to using powerful Stars-issued firearms. I theorize that Samurai Edge would be one of these, and it is. That's the one you start off with by default. It is a powerful weapon, highly precise, that deals massive damage and has ample knockback power. You'll see in the footage coming up soon that it's kind of best at taking out creatures. In particular, if you get a headshot with this thing, it does like bonkers damage, so it's really good for taking out enemies if you can reliably get headshots with it. Otherwise, it's like maybe not, it's a little underwhelming perhaps, I would say. Almost, it's really all about taking out like difficult to kill creatures with headshots. For instance, if Daniel is controlling a zombie, or if Annette has buffed one up a lot, this is a good skill. At rank 23, you can change the Samurai Edge to a rocket launcher, which has 4 rounds. It deals explosive damage in a wide area with a base cooldown of 300 seconds. So base cooldown of 300 seconds is ridiculous. It's way longer than most of the cooldowns in this game, I would say. If not the longest cooldown. I need to fact check on that one. But I'm guessing it does crazy damage as a result, because 300 seconds is very high. And I'll show that off when I get to rank 23 when the time comes. Her personal skill is Evade. So this works kind of like when you evade in Resident Evil 3 without it being a perfect dodge. And it only has a cooldown of 5 seconds, nice and quick. You can change this to Alpha Team, the passive, pardon me, which briefly increases damage dealt and chance of critical hits when activated, but it makes the cooldown of it longer, so you have to be more judicious about when you use it. This is surprisingly useful, actually. At first, I didn't really know if this was going to come in handy with the way the game's engine works, but you can like run around BOWs with it if you're particularly good at it and stuff. And it also helps when you kind of break into a room. If you dodge back out of it again, sometimes you like avoid a lot of the damage coming towards you when you barge into a room to begin with. So it's actually surprisingly useful, and I like this skill quite a lot. Passive B&E Specialist. Jill's military specialist training gives her a particular set of skills. What does B&E stand for? Bacon and eggs? I'm trying to think. I have absolutely no idea what B&E stands for. I'm going to just say Bacon and Egg Specialist for the time being. I haven't got a clue. Breakaway gives the ability to counter enemy grabs from the front when Star's Armory is fully charged. That's the ultimate, by the way. But increases its cooldown. So if you have to use this, the cooldown will be increased, and you won't be able to use your Star's Armory for a little while again. You can change this passive to counter surveillance so that when Star's Armory is fully charged, you deal greatly increased damage to traps and cameras. I have some footage of this coming up. It's really cool. It's like when you use a defensive item, for instance like a knife, to get yourself out of a zombie grab. Super cool, unique skill to the game. I really like this. And finally, Delta Force passive. By default, precision prevents reticle spread when aiming, even when Jill is moving. So, reticle spread usually results in 50% less damage done with guns, and usually the reticle will hone in. It like kind of starts with the lines further out, and then it hones in as time goes by. However, with this passive, I guess you just don't really get the damage penalty, or like the reticle doesn't spread, which also I guess presumably makes her accuracy better. I heard somebody say that this maybe isn't working correctly at the moment. I'm not too sure about that myself, though. I'd need to test it more. You could change this to Marksmen, which increases damage dealt when the reticle is fully focused. This is quite similar to the way Becca works. In terms of her passives, though, I would say quite similar. So this is a match that I recorded earlier. Thank you to Draxian99, Restless, and Martin in the background for not instantly leaving the lobby as soon as I locked in Jill. You guys are the real MVPs of this video. I appreciate you not just alt F4ing as soon as you realized that you couldn't get your shot on the toy. And as a result, I've now been able to record this footage for everybody at home who wants to see some Jill.
But you know far too much about my work with William. I cannot let you leave here.
We can fix this. You don't have to do this. Thanks for the assist. Why did you do that? Stay in control.
Cool. Sorry, I had to let you guys just witness that interaction. Like the other characters, they have specific interactions with the mastermind that they're against.
But at least they prove useful here.
This is some post-commentary that I'm doing at the moment. I recorded this earlier while I was talking to a friend, and now I am playing it in a video player for your enjoyment.
We're still going to get out.
So I really like the way that Jill plays. She's quite fast, actually. I don't know if character speeds are actually something that changes in this game. I know that they have different base health values. So, for instance, Samuel and Tyrone are, like, they have more health than, say, Martin, who has the least. I think he's only got about 1000 HP default, whereas Tyrone and Samuel have, like, 1300. I don't know, Jill feels quite fast to me, but I don't think that's actually different. I think it's just like the animation for her. Tried to use my dodge in that room to get past the zombies, but it didn't work, unfortunately. It is quite useful though in general for like busting your way. If you bust into a room and then dodge backwards, for instance, or sometimes you can dodge through. Works quite well. Supply zombies spawned right behind me because supply zombies love to spawn right on top of survivors, and again, I think that that shouldn't be the case. I think the game should prioritize spawning supply zombies away from survivors, if it can. Not miles away necessarily, but just not on top of them, because it gives them a huge advantage over the mastermind in my opinion. Regardless. Oh, sorry about that. My computer was having some issues when I recorded this. I don't know why. For some reason, the Epic Games launcher was using up a third of my CPU, so probably some bug with that. The usual, you know what I mean? You're about to hear a really good line coming up for Jill.
You may be slightly nearer to freedom, but I will not, cannot let you reach it.
9 credits off of the Lightning Hawk there. But I bought the quick draw because the Matilda is good for taking out cameras, but unless you have some sort of damage boost for it, I'd prefer quick draw overall still.
That was close. I almost became a Jill sandwich.
Ah, hey, you gotta love it. Resident Evil fans, come on. That made me smile when I heard that. It really is a very nice moment actually to see her in the game, and the fact that she's got her own voice lines and animations and stuff, it really makes it much more special in this game when a character gets added compared to some of its competitors where new characters kind of feel like skins more than anything else, honestly. So just putting that security device on the map. Unfortunately, oh, stood in the trap there. Unfortunately, this mastermind never really kind of got off the ground. It was quite an easy win for us. But for the purpose of me making footage of Jill, I was okay with that, actually. My fever skill is ready here. But I'm being very patient and not using it. So many golden skins for my guns, by the way. I've been really unlucky with cosmetics.
You may take its key.
So you see how much damage? That was the fever skill right there. See how much damage I did specifically to the zombie's head?
You must be eradicated.
I think you should really try and aim for headshots with the Samurai Edge if possible. Which kind of fits into, I think classically the Samurai Edge is a gun that has a higher crit rate. And when you get a crit in a zombie, it's like head pops off. So I think they've kind of gone for that.
I don't like being watched.
She's quite sassy.
Nada.
Just like in Resident Evil 3, she's a real sassy gal, that Jill Valentine. Compared to like Resident Evil 1, where she seems to always be kind of like looking off into the distance, a bit distracted. She's a lot more innocent in Resi 1. Whereas in Resi 3, she's got a bit of an attitude.
Great. That's perfect. Keep it up.
That's perfect! I love it.
William, help me finish this.
Alright, here's William. When you're playing as a character, they have a different colored icon when you look at the map. Jill's is like a kind of navy blue, as you would imagine. I decided to scoot over here and get the supply zombie just in case we like were negligent and didn't pick it
Did
up.
that?
Alex and her toys. This advantage was never meant for you.
So I've never heard that voice line before for Annette.
We'll all end like this.
I don't know if it's new or if it's just I got unlucky, because there's definitely mastermind voice lines that you only hear if you're playing as a survivor against them, but I've never heard Annette say that, and I've played this game loads by this point. I do tend to leave supply zombies to my allies though, so maybe that's why. I wonder if it's new.
Nice try.
Dodge past William there. Although, to be honest, I don't know if that was the dodge or just me running past him anyway. Will lightning strike twice though if I try and dodge him again? No. No, it doesn't. I kind of dodged into the diorama in the middle and then he grabbed me as a result. Wah wah.
A very minor accomplishment.
Don't do that.
Don't let it go to your head.
Don't let it go to your head that you got a dodge ability.
This is inevitable. Why won't you just die?
It feels good though. At first I was like kind of disappointed that it wasn't the perfect dodge, although that, I mean, they couldn't have the time slowdown mechanic of the perfect dodge, that would be busted, but I think they've done the best with Jill that they can without her being like too overpowered. I actually can sort of foresee some people saying that she's underwhelming. I think especially the fever skill, the samurai edge, a lot of people are probably not going to be very impressed with that. I'm thinking the rocket launcher will probably be a little bit more impressive. But they seem to have made it so that you get quite a lot of bonuses if the fever skill is ready to go but you haven't used it yet. So I think that they've planned it so that it's the type of fever skill you only use when you need it, rather than something that you're kind of more like, well, I don't want to hold on to this for too long because it's a waste. You actually get a lot of benefits as Jill if you have it ready but you don't use it until you need it.
I shall revise my strategy.
I think it would be cool though if you got headshots with the samurai edge, if it would like make a zombie's head pop off if you like did enough damage to kill it. Give it like a kind of visual feedback, I think would be really interesting, because it's clearly designed to like do more damage when you get a headshot. Here's me. I bought way too many handguns. You can tell I play melee characters more than ranged characters for Survivor. Also accidentally used a first aid spray because I put it as my #1 shortcut and then I switch it here to my #3 shortcut, so I don't do that again because that's a bad habit of mine. Do you have that yourselves, where you have like certain things on certain number keys and you get used to it? I definitely do. If I have a first aid spray set to 1, I will accidentally click it at one point when I'm trying to get a gun out.
Damn,
Promise.
Stay in control.
There's me getting blocked. Oh, dogs. It's weird.
Ready, here it comes.
There's the samurai edge coming out. So as you can see, it doesn't do a ton of damage to biocores. Not terrible. Bear in mind it's not a melee weapon, right? So fairly high amount of damage considering I'm using a handgun. And you get like special ammo just for using it, which is nice. Helps you not run out, which is good. Her dodge allows you to get over bridges and stuff a little bit quicker in case you're worried about the mastermind fiddling with the controls, as they are wont to do.
I'm out. Shit.
You may be feeling confident, but I will not stand idly by.
Getting my grenades ready, slowly but surely. Doesn't blind this dog though. tell you, sometimes dogs are really useful in this game, and sometimes they're completely useless.
Nice try.
Boop. There we go. Redeemed myself. Hey, that was a good dodge. I think if you're good as Jill, you can actually really clown BOWs that chase you. If you are good at using the dodge. I've definitely had some interesting experiences.
I didn't think this was possible.
Yeah, not a very close game unfortunately here with Dr. Aim Bucket, but again,
Not a great move.
I have a lot of sympathy for
Fully
masterminds.
charged.
It's not as easy as it looks.
Stay in control.
If you're against a coordinated team of survivors, it's particularly painful. There's still a lot of debate as to whether or not ultimately survivors or masterminds have the upper hand. I think the fact that every review for this game seems to suggest
Not
that
even close.
the masterminds are overpowered, apart from some that say survivors are overpowered, the general lack of consensus is maybe a sign that it's quite well balanced for a very new game.
Taking out this camera.
It's only about 3 weeks old, right? So at this point, I'm thinking to myself, we're about to win, and I want to show off the ability to get a zombie off you with a knife when you get grabbed from the front, right? So I decided,
Even
I'm
three
going
of you
in.
can't- Even 3 of you can't take one of me down.
Cool. I love the fact that that's a unique ability that Jill gets.
Strapped in gear, let's run. That was intense. We'll finish them and show them what they can do with that umbrella.
A cocky, sassy attitude coming out from Miss Valentine here. Show them what they can do with that umbrella. They can shove it up there. And that's it for the Jill Valentine update video. I hope you all enjoyed being able to see Jill in action. But if you would like to see more of Jill in action, then you can head on over to twitch.tv/SinowBeats at 8 PM UK, 3 PM EST, where I will be playing as Jill all evening, if possible, to try and rank her up as quickly as possible, so that I could show you all what her fever skill looks like when you have the rocket launcher passive equipped. I'm going to be using plenty of RP boosters in order to help me achieve that goal, and enlisting the help of a couple of friends to make sure that I get to insta-lock Jill and play as her for as many games as possible. So if that sounds like your bag, then do head over to twitch.tv/SinowBeats at 3 PM EST, 8 PM UK time. But regardless, if you can't make that and you've just watched this video, I want to say thank you to everyone anyway for your support. I've been having a lot of fun making these videos and they're beginning to really pick up in traction, so I'm super happy about that, and I'm really happy that this game has gotten its first kind of major content update, hopefully the first of many to come. So thank you all for watching. This has been Sinow, and good luck being able to insta-lock Jill Valentine in all of your upcoming games of Resident Evil Resistance. Take care.